Boy, that's sure a long ways down. You can see it right up there underneath Australia. A little bitty old thing that looks like a boot.
Where's
I
Wellington?
was on the North Island.
Yeah.
I never did get to the South Island. But some guys got a 3-day pass or something. They went down to, it was quite a ways. It was 20, 30 miles by boat.
Well, after high school, how did it turn out that you got in the service in the first place?
Broke and no job. There wasn't any jobs. So Ted Vail and I joined the Marine Corps. We thought we'd see the world. That was before the war.
Yeah.
We joined the Marine Corps to see the world. And what did we see? We saw the sea. Now that's the Navy. You joined the Navy to see the world, but what did you see? You saw the sea. Ted would go to that mill in Springfield, and that's how you got a job. You stood around for, maybe a week, watching some outfit, and then if somebody quit or something, why the foreman would know you and know you've been looking at what they're doing, and then you go to work. Is that thing on?
Yeah.
That must be on.
Yeah, I'm recording because Linda and Hilda have both asked me about recording some of your stories, so I thought might as well since we're sitting here.
Was that a story?
Yeah, that's a good story.
But when I first got out of high school, there was no work at all for high school graduates, unless in a lumber mill or something.
Mm-hmm. So, you and Ted both joined. Did you guys stay together afterward?
Yeah. Well, we joined together, and we went to San Diego together at boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we each got. That was the time I decided that if I knew anything about anything, it was the band, and I got in the band in New Zealand. But then, I played baritone horn in high school. Euphonium.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll have to talk to Dirk about it. It was good. It was fun a while, and then it was bad because then when the troops made their landings, they broke us all up into, I think, 8 of us to a battalion. 8 of us to a battalion as stretcher bearers. We never saw our instruments until we got to Hawaii.
So you went, the first place you landed was around where, Tonga? But you didn't go ashore?
I didn't go ashore because we got driven out.
Oh, I see.
Jap cruisers or battle wagons or something. And we had, what little few ships we had there had to get their ass out of there in a hurry.
I see.
And we went to New Caledonia. New Caledonia. Some of us that didn't get off the ship. All I saw was a little island called Tulagi. No, wait. We got shipped out. It didn't land at Guadalcanal or Tulagi because the ships got driven out. And our ships escaped to New Caledonia, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And we stayed there about a month before they figured they could take what didn't get off on the first or second or third waves or whatever it was. Back to New Caledonia. And we set up a camp there. Not we. All I was doing was walloping pots. Great big old pots. And then when then they shipped us back, and we joined our outfits. And my outfit was on Tulagi. And we were there, just sat on our ass, watching for boats coming in, one thing and another, for a few weeks, or I don't know what it was. And then we got in little boats and went across the 20-mile channel to Guadalcanal, and went up and joined the front.
Uh-huh.
And it was pretty easy doing. I never fired a shot from my foxhole. I never fired a shot until hardly ever in 6 years out there, and I made several landings.
Uh-huh.
You get shot at, you don't shoot. You get shot at maybe, say, 1,000 times, but you don't see where anything's coming from. And unless you're in the mortar or got a heavy machine gun or something, and you think you saw rock with a hole in it or something like that, why, that's the people that did the shooting. If you were one line back, you know, if your company was second company on the line, you never even fired because you had everybody in front of you. So I never fired a shot on all the time I was on Guadalcanal. My whole battalion, we sat in foxholes guarding a certain hill or something, and someone fired a shot in the middle of the night, and they sent out a runner from headquarters. And they insisted on who fired that shot. So you can see how that was. I suppose on other parts of the line where Japs were trying to sneak through or something while they were firing. But not on my section. Boy, that hurts the side of my head to take a bite.
You think you were there on Guadalcanal then for like a little more than 1 month or a couple months? And
on Guadalcanal? Oh hell, better than a month.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how long. I got it in this book.
So from there you went down to after Guadalcanal you went for R&R in Wellington.
They had a camp built, just about built. They had a lot of decks for tents, but they didn't have the whole camp built. So we more or less camped and finally got in tents.
Was that like those
12, I think they were
12 by 16 or 16 by 16, something like that?
Yeah, they might have been that big. I don't know.
They have a stovepipe inside going out or anything?
I believe they did, come to think of it. Then we left there and went to, wait a minute, where am I? You know, where they have the marquee and everything, and that's when Pop McGill and Ma McGill and their daughter, they were just looking for someone, I guess, to, take out to eat and whatnot. And my buddy and I were standing there, and Pop McGill came up and asked us if we boys wanted to take a ride and maybe go out and have a bite to eat. And that's how we met him.
Uh-huh. We
were just standing around looking at, like when you go to a movie, you look at the pictures on the side.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like an American movie house.
Yeah.
In Wellington there. Anyway, we had been out at, when we first got to New Zealand, of course, we both went to a hospital for malaria, and my buddy had malaria real bad. And I had it, but it never did really harm me much. People are supposed to have malaria all their lives, and so I don't know. I don't know why people were. When you got malaria, you get fevers, and then when you get through with the fever, then you shake like hell you just shivered like hell for a half hour or so. until your next attack, and then you sweat like a horse. Anyway, I never did really get that, and I've always thought I had malaria, but it never did affect me afterwards.
Some people had dengue fever, you said?
Huh?
You said some people had dengue fever?
Dingy, we called it. Oh yeah, I had dengue fever. I know I went out to a hospital ship, and I was sicker than hell. I had dengue fever and malaria both, I thought. I don't know whether I went back to the island or whether the ship, or whether I stayed on that ship a few days. I don't know what happened. I can't remember. But as I was saying, the thing I wanted to impress everybody says, "Oh, how many Japs did you kill?" And I said, "I never even saw one of the sons of bitches." You never saw anything. Now, you could sit there for 3 months in a foxhole, you'd never see a Jap. All you'd hear is zim, zim, zing, zing. So, being in the service is getting shot at, not shooting. Maybe a few guys right up at the front might see something to shoot at, but I never did.
So, what was it like to... How did you usually land on one of those islands?
By Higgins boats.
How big's a Higgins boat?
Hold about 10 or 12 guys, I guess. And then they had, then they came out with a little bit bigger boats that would hold a tank or something. And then they came out a little later on with landing ship tanks, and they had a great big thing that came down, and it would hold several tanks, and the tanks, it would go right up to the beach, and these tanks could go out usually a foot or two of water and land okay. So I landed in 2 or 3 because I landed on Tulagi first,